Good morning. This is Josh Boyd, the lead pastor at Life Christian Church here in Las Vegas. We also do Fight Church, the combat sports chaplain ministry. And I try to jump online every Wednesday morning to share a devotion. Nothing fancy, no bells or whistles, no lasers or fog, just me reading a devotion out of a book and then sharing a few thoughts and getting on with our week. That's what I want to do again this morning. We've been reading from Bob Goff's book, Catching Whimsy, and today's devotion is called The Phone is Ringing, Pick Up and Answer the Call. Bob Goff starts each of his devotions with a scripture. Today it's 2 Thessalonians 1 verse 11. That says, "We constantly pray for you that our God may make you worthy of his calling, and that by his power he may bring to fruition your every desire for goodness and your every deed prompted by faith." And here's what Bob Goff writes for today. What does calling mean anyway? We have all heard people talking about how God called them to do this or that. I always cock my head sideways when I hear a young man tell me God called me to go surfing in Tahiti in a support letter. We all get a lot of calls on our phone, but what does it mean to be called in the way people in faith communities describe it? Paul usually used this reference to mean doing what is most important to God. In the book of John, the disciples asked Jesus a similar question: what is our work? Think of this sincere question as a different way of asking what is our calling. Jesus told them that their work or calling was to believe in the one God sent. Stated differently and simply, Jesus told his friends, our work, our calling, our focus is faith and relationship with him. Here's the thing. While according to Jesus, our work and calling is faith, he also created us big and wondrous lives filled with opportunity for purpose and meaning and massive creative contributions. By being available to the things God has already placed inside you, the interests and gifts that point to bigger callings simmering within you, you honor God. Go, be a doctor, or plant seeds on a farm, bag groceries, or study the cosmos. These things all can be honorable efforts. You shouldn't live someone else's calling or let others dictate to you what yours is. Aim for living a life that aligns with what you have been uniquely invited into with your gifts and abilities and interests and uncertainties and peccadillos. Remember, it is not selfish for you to pursue the beautiful ambitions God has uniquely called you to. Catching whimsy is strategic. Don't shy away from the hard work required to share your message with the world. And then Bob Goff ends each of his devotions with a statement or a question to challenge us. Today he writes, "Good luck and saddle up. Go live a life worthy of the calling you have received." And I actually didn't jot down any notes because I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to say, and that is simply live a life where you're loving God and loving others, and you're fulfilling the greatest work that you're called to do. Now, God may call you to more specific things for different seasons in your life, and you should definitely be obedient and do that. But in the seasons when you don't know what your calling is, or maybe you have two things going on and you're trying to make a decision, love God and love others. That is doing the work of advancing the kingdom, and that's what we're called to first and foremost. I hope you find that encouraging, inspiring, and challenging. I know that I sure do. I've gone through all different seasons in my life. So here's what I'll do. I'll pray for you. You pray for me. Read your Bible every day and get to church this Sunday.